Welcome back to First Take. Let's get to a quick take on my Bears here. Caleb Williams indicated in a new book coming out this fall by Seth Wickersham that he wanted nothing to do with the Chicago Bears before being drafted in 2023. Carl Williams, who's Caleb's dad, said, quote, "Chicago is a place where quarterbacks go to die." Stephen A. here now with this quick take. Look, there was a lot more context to this whole situation, but nonetheless, do you think this is more an indictment on the Chicago Bears and the way the franchise has been run, or Caleb Williams really not wanting to go to a place maybe he didn't know anything about?
It is absolutely an indictment against the Chicago Bears organization from the past. And now led by Kevin Warren, I have nothing but faith in them moving forward. I'm very, very confident that things are going to progress. I think they hired the right coach. And I think that right now, when you look at it, listen, Caleb Williams said this before he became a Chicago Bear.
Correct.
He didn't say this after. He's entitled to his feelings. His father's entitled to his feelings. I'm looking at this number right here in terms of the Chicago Bears, okay? When you think about the Chicago Bears, the Bears haven't had a first-team All-Pro at quarterback since 1950. Did you know that? Since 1950. Over the last 60 years, only 2 Bears quarterbacks have made the Pro Bowl. Jim McMahon was on the team in 1985 and Mitchell Trubisky in 2018 as a replacement. Y'all have any idea how pathetic that is? I don't give a damn what Caleb Williams or his father said about not wanting to be a Chicago Bear. The Chicago Bears as an organization didn't deserve anybody having faith in them as a quarterback. Now, led by who they're being led by, okay, with Ryan Pohl, with Kevin Warren and the crew, with their new coach, Brad, I have all the confidence in the world that they're moving in a forward direction, and Caleb Williams is a hell of a quarterback. He was slaughtered last year, okay? When you protect them and you have a better offensive mind, a coach in his team, Shane Waldron is gone now. That's not something he was confident. That's not somebody he was confident in
and he was
before he got there. He was right about that. There's nothing wrong with what Caleb Williams and his father had to say prior to being in that. They said this, but after arriving with the Bears, that's different. But prior to, you have a right to your damn feelings. They don't owe anybody an apology or an explanation or nothing. The Chicago Bears should be apologizing to the city of Chicago and to the National Football League for being so inept for so many years when it came to picking a damn quarterback.
Okay, first of all, his dad is trying to protect his son, so that I totally understand where he is coming from. But the Bears are literally the definition of insanity. They've done the same thing over and over. They draft a quarterback from a previous coordinator that becomes a head coach, then they fire the coach, and then they draft another quarterback. It happened with Mitch Trubisky and John Fox. It happened with Coach Nagy and Justin Fields. We saw it happen then, obviously, with Eberflus and Caleb Williams, and it just keeps recycling over and over. Of course, this is the narrative in Chicago until it's proven otherwise. It's absolutely ridiculous it's had to get to this. But maybe a wake-up call for the Chicago Bears. You can't act like this anymore.
First of all, they already woke up. They woke up by drafting him anyway.
They haven't done anything on the field yet.
But what I'm saying, well, listen, do you have a problem with the coach they hired?
I don't, but I'd like to see it come to fruition.
Do you have a problem with the coach they let go? Eberflus needed to go, right?
Yes.
Waldron needed to go, right?
Yes.
And now you got a new coach who, by the way, was considered a brilliant offensive mind. You got a quarterback that was sacked 68 times, 16 more than any other quarterback in the National Football League last year. Caleb Williams was slaughtered. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying they on their way up. I know Jayden Daniels was absolutely special with the Commanders, and I get that. And because of that, we looked at the struggles in Chicago that finished with a 5-12 record, and we said, damn. But there was a time in the season where Caleb Williams was showing us some things.
Yeah.
He's got an NFL body. He can take some punishment, clearly. He's got a lot of heart. He can make every requisite throw. He can run with the football when necessary. I love the potential of this kid, and I don't mind at all that it's coming out what his father and what he felt about the Bears, because to me, it's going to put an emphasis on the Bears. We need to make sure to make him a liar, to make his dad a liar, by making sure that we do what we're supposed to do as an organization, which I am very confident they will do. I believe in the Chicago Bears organization right now. I truly do right now, because based on what they had in the past, it was a joke. I think it's much better now. I think they're moving forward, and I think that the best is yet to come. Caleb Williams is going to be a star in the NFL. You mark my words.
You know how you're nervous about your Knicks? I'm nervous about all these things you're saying actually coming to fruition for my Bears. It's been a lot of years of disappointment. We'll see if it actually comes true.
He's going to be a star. Mark my words.
All right, we'll talk more about this in the fall, I'm sure. Speaking of the Knicks are not the only big ticket in town, of course.
That is just, I mean, if you go through the kind of highlights of this, it's remarkable. Basically, what you need to know about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, He was considering trying to circumvent the draft last year for the UFL. His dad, Carl, was very involved, as any father would be, in their son or daughter's life in terms of helping them as much as they can help them professionally. He said that Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. Caleb wondered aloud, do I want to go there? I don't think I can do it with Waldron, as in Shane Waldron, their former offensive coordinator. Carl Williams, Caleb's dad, spoke with Archie Manning about trying to dictate the process as to where he goes. Carl Williams said that the way in which the salary cap and the rookie wage scale is done is unconstitutional. They were wondering about whether or not they could go to the UFL and be an unrestricted free agent in 2025. He then decided before the draft the team he actually wanted to play for were the Minnesota Vikings because of a meeting with Kevin O'Connell. He went in there and he considered going all John Elway and destroying the city in terms of ripping the Chicago fan base and the town, et cetera, and, quote, Caleb didn't want to nuke the city. He didn't understand how to watch film because nobody was teaching him what to look for. It goes on and on and on and on. It was an unbelievable story with unbelievable information. We are going to take this one by one and focus on a bunch of things throughout the show here because it is juicy. Basically, Caleb Williams didn't want to be a Bear at that point. Let's talk about the first part. His idea with his dad was to circumvent the draft. Is that even something that is possible? Can you do that? Could he have gone right to the UFL for a year, sign a one-year deal, and then become a free agent without re-entering the draft? Can that even happen?
No, you have to re-enter the draft. You have to re-enter the draft.
So you're rolling the dice at a team that you would want to play for.
But it's happened before, though. We've seen it happen before. Bo Jackson did it once upon a time. He got drafted. I want to say it was by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. Decided to go play baseball, came back, got drafted by the Raiders, and decided that's when he wanted to start his NFL career. Reggie White started his pro football career in the USFL before he went to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we've seen it before.
I think our buddy Warren Moon did the same thing.
Warren Moon did the same thing. So we've seen it happen before. This is not novel. We just haven't seen it over the last quarter century in the NFL. But what we have seen is players try to dictate the teams that are going to draft them, a la Eli Manning. It happened once upon a time. He didn't want to go to the San Diego Chargers. Chargers drafted him anyway. Draft day trade with the Chargers and the New York Giants. They flip Eli and Phillip Rivers. Eli goes on to win 2 championships. In that instance, Eli Manning wasn't wrong. I don't understand. I understand Caleb Williams not wanting to go to Chicago. He's not wrong for having trepidation because of how the franchise has mismanaged quarterbacks. I just hate that this comes out in the timing of it because you already have an inordinate amount of pressure on him coming into year 2 based on what we've seen from Jayden Daniels, based on some of the noise, some of the articles that have been written this offseason, based on him, advocating for Ben Johnson to be his future head coach and the organization going out and hiring based on what the team has done this offseason with fortifying the offensive line, signing free agents, and drafting players on the offensive side of the ball. There is a ton of pressure on Caleb Williams coming into this season, and now this just adds another layer.
It definitely does. And there's a lot to litigate about Caleb Williams and his father.